You are listening to the Hiking Radio Network, where we talk the walk with shows by hikers, about hikers, for everybody.
This is the Hammock Hangers Podcast, where we hang out and talk about everything from hammocks and hammock camping to the group hangs from around the country. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hammock Hangers Podcast. I am your host, Paul Collins, or Skunkape. I hope that everybody had a great Thanksgiving, ate lots of food to get fat and happy, and then kicked back in their hammocks to take that after-meal nap. I know I sure did. This week's episode is a special HangCon episode where Pheonix and I go over all of the logistics of the event and answer a lot of the questions that we regularly get asked. So if you're planning on coming to join us for the event or just curious as to what it is, this is a must-listen to episode. So let's get started so that you can be well informed as to what HangCon is all about. All right, everybody, we are back, and I am here again with Pheonix. Pheonix, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Paul?
I'm not doing too bad.
I just burned my lip on my coffee that I have here.
You're an idiot.
Poor life choice. Poor life choice.
Right. So, AJ and I are this is going to be the HangCon episode. We have had a lot of people messaging us to ask us, various questions about the event, because we have a lot of new guests coming this year that have never been. It's their first year. So AJ and I thought that it would be a good idea to have a HangCon episode and just go over all the details, about the event and answer, some questions that we have been asked, to try and help people out to know what to expect before they make it there.
Yeah, and as Paul said, there's a lot of information here. There is a lot of information here. So feel free to, rewind, replay again, all this information. A lot of the information we're also going to be giving you can be found on our website as well as some of the event posts that we've made to our Facebook page as well. And if for some reason you have a question that we did not get to or did we not answer, we never want someone to come and feel unprepared or not come because they didn't have a question answered. So feel free to either message us on our website, on Facebook, or through Hammock forums as well.
Absolutely. And I am constantly updating, our website. I know Pheonix does most of the posting on the social media like Facebook and Instagram. I take care of the website. So here in a couple of weeks, AJ, myself, and some of the others that help us out at HangCon, like Travis and Britt and Matt and some of the others, we have our planning weekend that we go to. That's where we sit down and, just go over everything, make sure we've got everything, squared away with the calendar schedule and all that. Once we do that, then I will be putting that onto the website as well. But we are going to cover a lot of it today on this episode of the podcast anyhow, but it will be there on the website as well too, though. So, where do you want to start off at?
Well, a lot of questions that we have gotten is, hey, do I need to register for this? Paul, do they need to register for this?
Absolutely. It is a big help when they do. When you register, it gives us the numbers, and that way we can plan on the food that we have to buy. Since, we do provide breakfast and dinners, it is a big help to know how many people are going to be there that we have to buy the food for. We do not want to run out, but at the same time, we don't want to have a crap ton extra that just goes to waste. So having those numbers is a huge help when we go to the store to buy all the food.
Absolutely. It is a huge help. The bill that we or the amount of cash that we fork out for food is a jaw-dropping number that I normally only see once a year when I go to HangCon. It also takes maybe at least 3 vehicles to load up all the food, and a couple different trips. We go to a couple different locations to get all the food and supplies that we need for the event. And like Paul said, our biggest goal is we don't want to waste. We want to be good stewards of the money that we are given for the event through our donations and raffle, and we want to make best use of those funds. And we've done an amazing job the last few years with food and not having leftovers, because nothing hurts more than having a slew of extra food that ends up in the trash that could have gone to some other thing to make HangCon better. So those numbers are huge to us. On the flip side, if you register for HangCon and, life happens, we totally understand, and situations change where you're not able to make it. If you could just drop us a line, either an email or a Facebook message or a DM on the forums, that would be a great help to us. Again, those numbers are huge to us. We love seeing them up and up and up, but we don't want to plan for 500 people and only 300 show up. So make sure you definitely register as soon as possible. And if life changes, just drop us a line so we can update our registrations if for some unfortunate reason you can't make it.
Absolutely.
One other question that we get, hey, who comes to this event? Well, like Paul said, we have a slew of registrations that this is their first HangCon, and we absolutely love to see that. We love new people coming back or coming for the first time. We love new people that came last year that had so much fun that came back for their second year. We've got quite a few of those as well. But we also have people that have been to HangCon for 5+ years that are still coming back because it is such a great event. And no, you don't have to be a hammock camper to come to HangCon. We definitely take tent curious campers as well, and we're going to be talking about other type of camping folks a little bit later in the episode. But don't feel intimidated, even if you don't have a single piece of gear. There's definitely people that bring extras that you can borrow from, or if you arrive at the event and realize, hey, well, I don't have a top quilt rated for the temperature that it might be, that we got you covered. We got you covered. There's plenty of people that bring extra gear for that specific instance. Also, our vendors have stuff that they are happily willing to sell that you can get outfitted here during the weekend. Another quick question that we get a lot is, hey, how much does this event cost? The awesome thing about HangCon is the event itself is, and if all falls into place, always will be a free event. That's very important that me and Paul wanted to keep that tradition going, because we realize that HangCon is such a special event for a lot of people. We have people coming from all over the United States, and we don't want cost to be a prohibiting factor for someone coming and enjoying our community. Now, with that said, the event is not free to put on. It costs anywhere between $12,000 to $15,000 between food, facilities rentals, trash, and other little odds and ends things that we need to put together to make this event a success. And so where does that money come from? That money comes from the wonderful donations that people make for the event. The camping is free, but it's not free to us. We suggest about $10 per day donation for the time that you're going to be at HangCon. We also make a lot of our money from donations from purchasing raffle tickets. We're going to be talking about our raffle a little bit later in the episode, but those raffle tickets are a huge stream of revenue that we use to make HangCon awesome. But as far as everyone goes, don't let cost be a factor. We want everyone to come out and enjoy our community.
Yes. I think we have 20 something states so far.
Oh, I thought it was over than that. I know last year we had close.
Last year we had 36.
36 of the 50 states.
Last year we had 36. I think this year we're upper 20s so far. Just a little tidbit of information. Just to let everybody know that, because I know I've heard some people say, well, it's, wish there was one closer, I actually had one person kind of laugh at me whenever I posted to one of the Facebook groups out west, because they thought that I had just posted to the wrong, group. But they didn't realize how big HangCon was and, how far people came to get there to spend the weekend with us.
Yeah, and that's another question that I've actually gotten a lot is if you were planning on flying in from somewhere in the gut, where are you flying into? Well, I would suggest two options, actually. Tampa International is probably the closest airport. It's the closest large-scale airport with a lot of options for people flying from anywhere in the country. Another option that's really good because a lot of smaller airlines fly into it is St. Pete Clearwater. I know PIE is the airport code. I fly a lot out of there with Allegiant Air because I haven't flown in a while, but the last time they had stupid cheap flights.
Allegiant's always been cheap with their flights.
So, so airports wise, it's Sartoma is about an hour away from both of those locations, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on which one. And it's not that bad of a drive at all. If you are driving and you would be willing to carpool with someone or pick up someone, we have a thread on our Facebook page. If you would want to go on there and just say, hey, I'm coming from X, Y, or Z, I'm willing to carpool with someone. That way we can try to get some more people that maybe transportation is an issue, but if you're sharing the cost of driving or if you're sharing the cost of fuel or driving time, that can get more people there. There's nothing better than meeting a new person or new friend on a nice little road trip. I know some of our friends from out west are looking at doing that, and some of our pals from the South Carolina community are also doing that as well. So another great option of making it to HangCon if the travel is a factor. So Paul, I've registered. The day is upon us, and I am pulling into Sartoma Youth Ranch. What do I do from here?
Well, as you pull in, we will have signs directing you to registration. Registration is going to be the first place that you want to go as you're coming in. Keep in mind that the roads in there are dirt roads, so just try and watch your speed, drive slow. That way you're not kicking up dust and dusting everybody out. But follow the signs up to registration. You can park up that way, get out, register, you sign in and all that. You get your name tag. Then you find your spot that you want to hang at. Drive over to your spot, unload all your stuff. And then once you get all your gear unloaded and all that, there is a designated parking area that we ask everybody to park in. But we, like I said, we let everybody unload. That way they're not having to lug, all their gear from the parking lot up to their site and all that. But we do ask that you unload as quickly as possible. That way, things don't get clogged up with vehicles all up in the camping areas.
Yeah. It's very important that everyone, when they come in, the very, very, very first thing that you do is come to registration. That way we can make you official, get you to sign our liability release form, get your armband so we know that you were supposed to be a part of our event. We also ask that the armband that we give you that you wear that through the entire event. So we can go around and we can see, hey, this person's supposed to be here. And if you see someone without an armband, just say, hey, have you registered? So they can get, we can make sure that we have accountability for everyone that is there. We will have name tags. Some people have asked me, well, I don't have a trail name. That's okay. We can put your real name on there, or we can give you a trail name. You might not like it, but we can give you one. But yeah, we ask that, try your best to wear the name badge as well. But definitely the armbands are key for us. Also, while at registration, you can make donations. We're also going to be selling raffle tickets through the entire weekend. So you can buy raffle tickets at registration or anytime after you register. If you did pre-purchase raffle tickets, you will receive those Saturday, sometime between lunch and dinner. So we'll make an announcement on that as well.
Right. A lot of people buy their tickets multiple times throughout the event. That way they have mixed numbers and not all consecutives. Yeah,
there's a for a lot of people, not just one or two. There's a lot of people that have a strategic strategy for purchasing raffle tickets, and a lot of people swear by it.
Well, once people see the raffle, then they start getting strategic with everything.
Absolutely.
Which we'll talk about the raffle here in a little bit.
Well, the next thing on our list is probably one of the greatest things about HangCon is we love to eat, and the food at HangCon is absolutely wonderful. A few things to notice about food is we really like to keep our waste footprint down and keep our trash kind of limited. So we ask that everyone bring your own mess kit. That way you've got your own plate, bowl, cup, utensils to use. And then after the meal is over, we actually provide a wash station for you to go out so you're able to clean your utensils and mess kit so it's ready for the next meal. As far as coffee and hot water will be available throughout the event. Our coffee is actually being donated by 803 Coffee as one of our vendors, 803 Outpost as one of our vendors. It is amazing coffee. It is really, really good, really, really caffeinated, and really smooth. So you definitely want to check that out. We'll also have maybe some hot cider, some tea, and hot chocolate. I will say that that may not last through the entire event, and when it's gone, it's gone. If you would like to bring some to donate, you're more than welcome to do that, but we will have a little bit there for the event to go on. Now, as far as food, when is it? Well, we do provide breakfast and dinner free of charge for the entire event from Thursday to through Monday. Our last meal will be on Monday at breakfast. Breakfast is going to start at 7 a.m. And it's going to go until the food is out. So usually it goes from about 7 to 9 a.m. That's what it has in the past. Our dinners will start at 6 o'clock, and they go and also until the food ends.
And the first dinner is on Thursday.
Correct, yes.
There is no breakfast for Thursday. So the meals are dinner from Thursday all the way to Sunday, and breakfast from Friday until Monday.
Okay, so what type of food are we having? Well, Thursday night we're going to be having our white chicken chili. And we're going to have two different types of cobblers for dessert. We're going to have our very special HangCon bear scat cobbler, as well as a peach cobbler for dessert. And those are Dutch oven cobblers, and they are chef's kiss amazing.
So now, what exactly is the bear scat cobbler?
We get that question a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So our bear scat cobbler is not a literal translation of bear scat, because that would be cool. That would be something. But a bear scat cobbler is it's a special recipe from our original founders of HangCon, Tim and Gumbo. They have a cobbler that is a mixed berry cobbler that is absolutely amazing. But when it's dumped out onto a plate, it kind of looks like bear scat.
With all the different berries. Okay, so that was dinner for Thursday. So breakfast for Friday.
Breakfast on Friday is going to be pancakes, sausage, cheesy bacon grits, and it'll be available till it's all gone.
Yep. Dinner for Friday
is our special recipe beef chili mac with potatoes, and we haven't exactly nailed out how we're going to cook these potatoes, but they'll be chili mac.
I think boiled. It'll be probably the boiled redskins or the golden. Is that what they are?
Yeah, Yukon
golden potatoes. Yeah, that's them. Boiled, just to give a little more substance.
Yeah, and it is mighty good. All of our HangCon crew, whenever we meet up, we have our chili mac.
Yes, that's probably what we'll have when we do our planning weekend in a couple weeks too. I'm sure. We'll have. But yeah, it's really good taking that chili mac and throwing it over the top of that tater.
It's mighty fun eating. Mighty fun.
Yes.
Also, with dinner that night, we're going to be having some cherry cobbler, some bear scat cobbler again, some peach cobbler, and apple cobbler as well.
Yep. So that is Friday. Saturday for breakfast.
We're going to be having some scrambled eggs with our cheesy bacon grits again. And also with kind of like a mountain man breakfast with some bacon and cheese and onions and peppers, all kind of glued up together in a casserole style.
Yeah, almost like a country scramble.
Yeah, absolutely. Right?
Yep, and that's going to have the cheesy bacon grits as well.
Absolutely.
For that morning.
Dinner. Oh, now dinner.
Now this is our big dinner. This is
you definitely do not want to miss this. You do not want to miss this.
Oh God, I look forward to this one. I actually start looking forward to this dinner here on Sunday morning after HangCon.
I concur
for the next year.
So all right. So what are we flapping about? Well, we have smoked pulled pork with smoked baked beans, mac and cheese that may give you cardiac arrest. We have our very special blue cheese coleslaw that we're going to be making, and we're going to be pairing that with some cherry cobbler, bear scat cobbler, peach cobbler, and apple cobbler for dessert again, and all in a Dutch oven.
Yep, all the cobblers for every night are in Dutch ovens. And then Sunday breakfast.
Oh, this is probably my favorite breakfast of the entire weekend. We're gonna have sausage gravy and biscuits, and bacon as well. And we'll probably also have our cheesy bacon grits to kind of throw on the side as well.
All right, for dinner Sunday night.
This is my second favorite. So Brunswick stew on Sunday night, and we really hope for a cold weather, because that Brunswick stew just hits a little bit different when those temperatures are down in the 40s.
Yes, it does.
And we're going to pair that with another bear scat cobbler, because everybody loves some bear scat, and a cherry cobbler to go on the side as well.
Yep. All right. And then, do we do anything for Monday?
Yes. On
Monday's breakfast. Did I do? Yeah, I done we just went over that. So breakfast on Monday is the made to order.
So our wonderful chef has offered to just kind of take what we have and do breakfast to order. If you like your eggs cooked over easy, he'll make them over easy. If you like them scrambled, he'll make them scrambled. If you like a fried egg, he can make a fried egg. If you like the yolks cooked, he can cook the yolks. We're also going to have sausage if we have some left over. I'm sure there'll be plenty of bacon to throw on there as well.
Bacon.
And we'll have our cheesy bacon grits and oatmeal and things like that on Sunday as well.
And Travis loves to cook.
Oh, he does.
Travis is a good cook.
So don't feel bad about making him cook your eggs. He likes what he does.
Yes. I mean, he went to culinary school and he just loves cooking in general.
One question that we do get occasionally, and people might not like the answer to this, but we asked, can I make some substitutions? Can I have like a vegetarian option or, a gluten-free option? And as much as we would like to accommodate as many people as we can, cooking for the level of people, the number of people that we do, unfortunately, we just can't make that happen. So if you need a substitution, we just encourage you to bring your own food. And if you don't want something, we don't have to give it to you. But unfortunately, we can't make any dietary substitutions from our regular planned meal. A couple of different things that we need folks to know that with HangCon, we also believe when everybody does a little bit, a lot gets done. Mealtime is a time that we really need people to help with serving our food and also with the cleanup. We really encourage everyone to, pick one meal that you're able or willing to help with. And so if everyone helps with one meal, no one has to be stuck serving food for 4 meals. We can kind of spread that job around. And helping with cleanup afterwards is also a huge, huge help. With pots and pans, making sure we leave that kitchen just as nice, if not nicer, when we leave there on Monday.
Right. And helping serve, helps our crew to be able to eat as well. Generally we will, we normally start off serving, of course. And then, after a while, we might make an announcement if there's, for volunteer or whatever. And then whoever wants to volunteer, by all means, can, come up, help serve. Like AJ said, help, break down and stuff like that. That way, our guys can enjoy some of HangCon as well. And
we have a special change to HangCon this year. Instead of having the outdoor kitchen that we've had in the previous years, we actually have access to the kitchen, the full kitchen at Sartoma this year. And we just a little change because it is a kitchen and we have to meet some certain guidelines with our staff and things like that. We just asked if you're not asked to help on with serving or anything, that the kitchen is an off limits to anyone that is not serving or actually preparing the food. We want to make sure that area stays up to protocol so we can continue to use that kitchen for years to come, because that's going to be a game changer for us in food preparation.
Absolutely.
Another thing that we're going to be doing this year that's a little bit different. In the past, we haven't done any food for lunches. That's changing this year. This year, we are actually going to be selling little $5 lunch kits at HangCon on Friday and Saturday for sure. We're going to be doing hamburger, hot dogs, and chips and a drink, somewhere in the range of between $5 to $7, depending on what you get. So if you forget food or just want to pick up and support HangCon for lunch, you have that option this year.
Right. And I mean, the only reason we're able to do that now is because we have access to that kitchen. So, I know a lot of people that I've, mentioned about doing the lunches. I've actually had pretty good, response and feedback from it. A lot of people seem to like the idea.
Yeah, I really hope it should take a little bit of the planning and prep from people when they're coming to the event to know that, yes, there will be food available. I don't have to leave camp to go into town. I don't have to bring extra food.
Yeah, because town is about 30 minutes away?
Yeah, Dade City and downtown Brooksville are about the same distance away. It's about a 30-minute drive. each way.
Right.
Now, with talking about if you do decide to cook in your campsite, that is perfectly okay. We're not in a bear region. We don't have to worry about bears, coming in, so you don't have to hang your food if that's going to be one of your thing. The squirrels are pretty intense over there, and raccoons can be occasional visitors. But other than that, we don't have too much trouble. We just ask that people leave the campsite as well or cleaner than what they found it when they leave on Monday or Sunday or whenever you decide to head out.
Right. Don't pile, there's garbage cans all over the place. So, don't throw your garbage in the fire pits and try and burn it. Just put your garbage in the trash cans. And there are metal baskets that they have hanging up all over the place for aluminum cans, which they use the aluminum cans. They turn them in and recycle them, and it goes to the youth groups. So make sure you, if you got any aluminum cans or anything like that, don't throw them in the trash, put them in the recycle baskets.
All right. So I think we've covered pretty much everything for the food goes. Let's talk about campfire. Now, we have a campfire, and we have a very, very large, and it is hot, it is intense, and it is long, and it takes different forms throughout the weekend. But it is pretty amazing. And we really encourage everyone to kind of join us in the afternoon. After dinner, we get around the campfire, we tell stories, we share music, we sing, we hoop, and we holler. And there's also a time that more food shows up at these campfires at night, so you definitely don't want to miss them. Absolutely do not want to miss them. They're one of my favorite parts about HangCon.
What are some of those foods that you're talking about?
All right, so HangCon is known for our drunken dates. Those usually show up on Sunday night. So if you're debating on leaving Sunday morning and not staying until Monday, maybe them drunken dates will change your mind. We've actually also adopted another tradition that we kind of stole from our Palmetto State family, is midnight bacon. Sometimes we'll it don't have to happen at midnight. Sometimes it happens at 9, 10 o'clock, but we might throw.
Well, it's midnight. It's always midnight sometime, right?
We might throw a few pounds of bacon on a Blackstone or something, cook it up. I know Jason from Walhalla and myself, we really like our scrapple. If you don't know what scrapple is, it is a mighty fine eating. Don't listen
anything.
To Paul. It is mighty
You're
fine
not missing
eating.
anything.
And if we will be happily to introduce you to that while you're there. I've seen some fried bologna sandwiches come out as well. So the campfire is another unofficial meal time sometimes for a lot of folks. But yeah, if for some reason I know it is a big event, and in turn I'm a very outgoing introvert, and so big crowds sometimes get with me. But we encourage everybody, but we understand that some people just don't like the big crowds. So if you would like a campsite, or if you would like a campfire at your site, a lot of the sites do have mini fireplaces or fire pits that you can have a fire there at your site. If you would like to do that, you are more than welcome to do that as well. Firewood is available for sale. Last time I checked, the camp host, he has a business there that he sells firewood. So firewood will be available. We're also going to get a very large pile of wood for our main fire pit. We just ask that you just let us use that for our firewood or our main fire. That you don't take any firewood from that. That would be also make sure you do not bring firewood from another state. Yes, we don't want any of y'all's germs. Just leave y'all's wood germs in your own state.
I'm not sure I would have put it that way, but
the state of Florida
whatever works.
Does not want your wood.
Yeah, no, the state of Florida kind of frowns upon that big time.
So let's talk about vendors, because that is a huge part about HangCon. So our vendors are amazing, and we have a slew of vendors that are going to be on site. We also have a slew of vendors that are donating partners. We're just going to go through and we're going to read some of our vendors that we have. Either these vendors are either coming to the event or they have made contributions for our raffle. Either way, they're big supporters of HangCon. So starting at the top, we have R&R Hammocks. We have Loco Libre, Cedar Ridge Outdoors, Sugarland Shine, Walhalla Hammock and Outdoor Gear, Jacks Are Better, Dutchware, Dream Hammock, Trailheads, Ridge Outdoor Gear, Hammock Gear, UGQ, Batch Stoves, Tree Hanger Tees, Simply Light Designs, Fire and Ice Outdoors. Let's see. 803 Outpost. Oh, yeah, our coffee. Yeah. Autumn Outdoor Gear, Squish Brick. Our friends from out west, Yobo Gear is going to be there. Nama Gear, Haven, Hammock Tents, Hemlock Mountain Outdoors, Peak Refuel is backpacking meals, Zen Bivy, Hummingbird Hammocks, Lecky, Sawyer, Farm to Feet, make some amazing socks there. Cedar Trail Gear, Tensa Outdoors, Two Speed Hammocks, Arctic Pines, Light AF, Knock Outdoors, Evergreen
Adventure Foods. Yep, Evergreen Adventure Foods.
Ripstop by the Roll, they're going to make it out here.
Hanging High Hammocks.
Oh, awesome. Hanging High Hammocks. Packet Gourmet. Yep. Superior Gear. Adventure Hammock Systems. Boondock Properties. Husk Hammocks, our very first international vendor. Yep. War Bonnet Outdoors. MCN Hammocks. One Wind. Teton Hammock Company. Enlightened Equipment. Cave Creek Hammock. Mr. Mock. Suncoast Outdoors, Firebelly Jelly, and we'd be out of luck without the Will McLean Foundation, the new nonprofit director of Sertoma Youth Ranch. We also have the Florida Trail Association is going to be out. They're supporting us as well. So thank you for all of our vendors. We really could not make this happen without you. Now, our vendors that are going to be on site, they're going to be setting up at different times depending on where they're coming from and where when they want to set up, when they want to be at HangCon just as a vendor or just as a participant. However, all of our vendors will be in full force on Sunday or Saturday afternoon. That'll be the main thing. Yep. A lot of them will be set up throughout the weekend, but our official vendor time will be on Saturday.
Right. And there may be more vendors added to this list also, because there have been a few other companies that have been in contact with me as well. They're just going through, seeing if they can make it or not, or so.
And if you're looking to purchase things from a lot of our vendors, most of our vendors do take digital payment, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. However, the signal at Sertoma is not always super great. So I do suggest bringing a little bit of cash with you as well for, a piece of gear that you may want to pick up.
We also have the gear garage also. That if you got extra gear, you bring it and you put it in there. And of course, if somebody puts some up there to sell, most time they don't take digital. So that's where another place where having cash on you would come in handy.
Yeah, our hammock hangers flea market that we have has really grown over the past couple of years. And it's a really great opportunity for especially new hangers to pick up a piece of just slightly used gear and get a little bit of discount on there. It could really open the gates for somebody new to hammock camping to get really, really set up for a really, really nice price. And if you're curious about that, the way that we do it is we have an actual form that you can fill out on each piece of gear that you bring. You can just fill it out explaining what it is, what your contact information is, and your price. And people can either call you or text you or talk to you. So you don't have to hang out with your stuff the entire weekend. We have a table up there that people come up and browse through the entire event. And it's a really cool thing. It really, really is. And like I said, it's a great opportunity to pick up a piece of gear for a little bit of a discount because it's slightly used.
I love when people start putting their gear up there. I've bought several things from up there before.
I don't need to buy any more gear, but I also love to browse as well.
Yeah, you don't need to, but you do.
I know. I can't help myself. All right. So a lot of people ask us about what type of camping are we going to be doing at HangCon? Like, what are the facilities? It's a huge question we get. Well, Sertoma is an amazing campground. If you've never been there before, it's a very clean place, and they have bathrooms and showers. There's 2 sets of bathrooms. There's one right near the pavilion, so right near the action. There is a female, a male, and a handicap bathroom. There's also showers and a bathroom facility up kind of in the middle of camp between the main camping area and the primitive area. So bathrooms, showers are available, and they're really clean and really well taken care of by our camp host.
Yes.
We also have a covered pavilion that we get to use that we're going to be using for all of our meals, and a lot of our classes and events are going to be held under the covered pavilion as well. We will have a charging station for all of our cell phones and things like that at the covered pavilion that people can come up and give their cell phone a charge so they can give their wife a call to let them know that they're not dead in the woods somewhere. I know my wife definitely appreciates it. We will have that set up. There are site electrical boxes. However, we ask that you not use those just because anytime that we have somebody plug into them, the camp has to charge us per day for those. So we usually mark those off. Any exception for that would be if you actually paid for a campsite through Sertoma, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But there's usually plenty of outlets in our charging station that you can charge things up, and it won't charge us a dime. We will have a wash station set up that people can use to clean their mess kits and their cups and things like that after meals, just so not having to find a spigot somewhere, and Lord forbid, don't do it in the bathrooms. We will have that washing station set up for everybody. If you're bringing kids, Sertoma does have a pretty cool little playground there that usually is swarmed with kids, especially Friday and Saturday night. So that's available. There's also a little trail at the campground as well that goes up to some old orange groves. You can pick the oranges up there. There might be some left over. That I guarantee you they're going to taste a little bit different than the kind that you get in the store. But yeah, it is a cool little trail.
You might pucker a little bit.
Yeah. There, and we've talked about the camping areas. There's 2 main camping areas at Sertoma. There's the main area where a lot of where they would have your RV, your typical stereotypical campsites. But there's also a huge, massive primitive area. Now, what are the pros and cons of both? So if you're in the main area, you're going to be close to everything. You're going to be a lot closer to the classes. You're going to be a lot closer to the food. You're going to be a lot closer to the campfire. You're going to be a lot closer to the action. Some people really like that.
A lot closer to the restrooms.
It is lighted, so for better or worse, I know where we usually stuff, there is a very bright light. So make sure you have that really dark cover tarp. But it is lighted. However, that area does fill up really, really quickly. So if you're someone that you definitely need to be in the main camping area, I would just, in the back of your mind, maybe bring a stand, especially if you're coming, later on Friday, because that area is filling up super quick. Now, the primitive area is really nice as well. For the most part, we like to camp out in the primitive area when we go. It's a lot quieter. At night, it's really, really quiet. It is a little bit further out, so if you like to be isolated and kind of away from people, that is probably going to be a better option. Now, I will tell you, if you're arriving later than lunch on Friday, that's probably where you're going to be. Now, when you're camping in the primitive area, we don't allow vehicles back into the primitive area. You're going to have to park at the entrance and hike your gear out. It's not a very long hike, depending on how far you want to go back, but it's not as easy as just driving up to your campsite.
Right.
So, without further ado, let's talk about this raffle, Paul.
It's an awesome raffle. The biggest raffle you will probably ever see with gear.
I would say we have over $10,000 worth of stuff to raffle away.
Easily. Probably easily. I mean, last year the raffle went what? 3-4 hours?
Yeah, we're working on things to make that raffle a whole lot take a whole lot less time. We're not limiting the amount of goodness that will go out, but we're looking to knock out all the times, because I know a few people like, well, we sat there a long time, so
right.
We're working on that.
Generally, we have 3 tiers. We have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 1 will be anything from what do you say, like a little koozie up to
probably anywhere between $10 to $50 to $75 worth of value.
Right. And I mean, that's where it actually took the longest last year. We had a lot of stuff. So that's where we're going to make a few changes this year. We're going to still have all the good gear, same amount of gear, but we're going to take a lot of that tier 1 stuff and bundle some of it together to make basically like a basket for tier 2. So there's going to be, we're going to do this to even out the tiers a little more. But the way we do the raffle, you could, if you say you have 100 tickets, you can win as many times as you have tickets on tier 1 and tier 2. After tier 2, all the tickets go back in, and then you can win once.
Yeah. In tier 3, we only allow one winning ticket per person, just because we have some really, really amazing gear in tier 3, and we want to see that spread out as much as we can throughout the entire community.
Right.
Now, our raffle, it happens on Saturday night after dinner. So after dinner and everything's cleared up, we get everything set up. We might actually have all of our gear set up for the raffle at dinner. So while you're eating or after you're eating, you can kind of go through and say, "Ooh, I really like that. Ooh, what is that? I have no idea." And we'll have people there explaining what all the gear is and things like that. So when your winning ticket is called, you can come up there and you can snatch that piece of gear that you had your eye on. Now, like I said before, raffle tickets will be sold through the entire event. Right now, we are doing an early bird special for tickets where you can get 6 tickets for $20. Normally, our tickets are $5 a piece, or you can get 5 for $20. But if you buy your tickets between now and midnight on December 31st, you can actually get that extra ticket for the $20. And sometimes that one ticket, Paul, that one ticket thing. Now, I know you're a natural.
I don't ever win.
You're a natural born loser. So
yes.
You never ever win. Hashtag bitterness. But it might be that one extra ticket. So buy your tickets often and buy your tickets early. And like I said, pre-purchase tickets can be picked up sometime between lunch and dinner on Saturday. Probably usually after about 1 o'clock, we have those ready.
You'll usually make that call.
Yeah, we'll make that call.
Hey, are we gonna have that app again this year?
So instead of having to make an announcement, we're actually going to use an app called Remind that you can actually set up and on your phone. And whenever we need to make an announcement, we'll just send out a mass text to everybody.
We normally have everybody do that during registration.
Yeah.
Put that on their phone. And it lets you know, gives you a notification for all the different classes and
when food is,
and outings like the hiking, when the food is, and everything else. It's a pretty neat app. Worked really well last year. We actually even used that. Somebody lost their wallet or something?
Yeah, we were able to find it.
Send out that text, and they came right up. So, pretty neat app to have.
Absolutely. Now we're getting to the question that we get asked probably more than any other question that we get asked is what type of gear do I need to bring, and what is the weather going to look like? Well, spoiler alert, we don't know. The weather in Florida is so picky, and give it 5 minutes and it'll probably change. Now, Paul,
Florida is by far the most bipolar state there
absolutely.
is.
Now, Paul has just added a weather widget on our website. So it's got a 7-day forecast. So when you get closer to the event, you can just go on our website and we can show what is the weather looking like for Brooksville, Florida, which is where Sertoma is located. But in the meantime, while you're planning for things, let's talk about quilts. Now, again, our temperatures vary. I've been going to HangCon since 2015, and the coldest that I've ever seen it is about 23 degrees, and it was cold. However, I have had years where the lowest temperatures were in the low 60s. So again, it's quite a range. I would say a 40-degree set will 75% of the time get you through, especially if it's a good solid set from one of our cottage vendors that are more comfort rated than life-saving rated. But a 20-degree set, I personally have never seen it get below 23 degrees. And anytime, and the entire time that I've been going to HangCon, it's only happened maybe like 5 nights through the many years that I've been going. A lot of people ask, do I need a bug net? Well, it's Florida. We have some pretty ferocious mosquitoes. We also have these things called no-see-ums, which are really worse than mosquitoes.
Because you can't see them.
You can't see them, and they don't know. You don't know that they're biting you until you're tearing your flesh off the next day. So I would suggest have that option available. Again, I mean, if it's getting down into the 20s at night, we're probably not going to have too many issues with bugs. However, if we're in the 60s, you're going to need some bug netting. So again, keep that option. Tarps. Yeah, we get rain. In fact, top 3 storm that I ever rode out in a hammock was my very first year at HangCon. It was a wild ride. So you might definitely bring a tarp that you feel comfortable with, and you feel comfortable that it's going to keep you dry, even with a little bit of rain.
Well, last year we had some people that didn't really plan for that too well with the tarp. And we had that monsoon come through.
Yeah, I mean, we might have rain usually one day throughout HangCon. That tends to be usually the norm. And every couple years we have like a real downpour. So again, just keep that in the back of your mind, just because the weather in Florida is its own special beast. Like I said, the daytime highs normally range anywhere between the upper 50s to the low 70s in January. Nighttime temperatures are usually in the upper 30s to low 50s. And if for some reason that you have a 40-degree set and that's the set that you have and that's the set that you bring, and there's a night it's going to drop down into the 20s, like I said earlier, there's always a slew of people that have extra gear, because we don't want anybody to be uncomfortable if we can help it.
I think last year, Courtney from Hiking Unfiltered, who was it that, can't remember, I can't remember what vendor it was, but she woke up, she was cold. She was actually in a tent, woke up and went over by the fire and was talking to them and everything. She was trying to get warm and said something about being cold. And one of the vendors actually told her to go over and get in one of the hammocks that he had set up and try and get a few hours sleep. And she went over and got in the hammock and laid down and slept. Her husband got up the next morning and she went next to him and he's trying to find her. She's over there crashed out. Needless to say, she bought her a
Absolutely.
hammock.
Like our vendors are awesome like that. And so don't worry if you have a 40-degree set and it ends up being a cold night. Well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of options to get you taken care of. All right. So what are some things that you absolutely need to bring on top of, your regular camping gear? What extra stuff do you need to throw in your bag to make sure that you have for the event? Well, we have showers. So, a towel, soap, shampoo, deodorant would be great. Just your personal hygiene products. We do strongly suggest towels because not so much at Sertoma, but we had an issue when we were at Doe Lake where we quickly ran out of paper towels for the restrooms because people didn't bring towels and they were using the paper towels in the restroom to dry off. So we don't want to do that. Again, we want to limit our trash. So bring your towel. Like with it's in Florida, so you might want to bring some bug spray. Again, DEET doesn't work so well on nylon fabric, so a picaridin based or a essential oils bug spray would be really beneficial. For those of you that don't know, DEET will deteriorate nylon pretty quickly, so can encourage that gravity check if it's too much exposure to the DEET. You want to make sure that you bring your mess kit because we won't have stuff for people to use as far as plates and utensils. We really would encourage everybody to bring your own. You definitely want to bring a chair, a camp chair of some sort around the campfire. We're out at that campfire for a long time, and there might be some people that will let you use your chair, but it's really just personal courtesy. Bring your own chair, especially if you're going to be sitting out, and also you might want a chair for meals as well, or sitting around at your campsite during the day. So I would strongly suggest a chair. Any extra gear that you have that you may want to bring that you want to get rid of. We talked about our flea market that we have. Great way to get some gear off your hands as well. Maybe go home with a little bit of cash in your pocket from HangCon, or sell some pieces of gear, buy some raffle tickets, and take a new piece of gear home as well.
Yeah, I sold a Clark last year and ended up with a Walhalla.
There you go. And people ask, do I need to bring a stand? If you've got one and you want to make sure that you're in the main area, I'd bring a stand. If not, it's not necessarily required. There are a slew of trees at Sertoma, and we have a very large area that we're hanging around. But if you do want that prime camping area where there's trees either not available or not around, I would definitely bring a stand if you have one available.
Especially if you're going to get there a little later.
Absolutely. Now, our classes. So we offer a lot of really great classes and demonstrations at HangCon that a lot of people really, really enjoy, and we like doing them. Just a list of a few that we're going to have. And again, this list may change due to some ideas that pop into our heads or maybe suggestions that people give us. But we're going to be doing our ridgeline demonstration that we did last year, as well as our suspension demonstration, and we have a really, really cool suspension system that we're really going to be demonstrating at HangCon this year that you can actually pick up. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but it is a wicked cool all-in-one suspension that is not on the market, and we're really excited about being able to demo that. So that might be something special. That you, it is definitely something special. So you definitely want to check that out. We're going to have a hiker roundtable for those of you that are interested in maybe doing a section hike, or maybe you're even interested in doing the full fledged hike, either on the PCT or the AT or the Florida Trail, and you just have some questions about what does that look like. We're going to have a lot of experienced hikers that have done just that can answer questions about gear, about prep, about food, about conditioning. So make sure
all the logistics.
Yeah, all the logistics are going to be at that hiker roundtable with some really, really wonderful experienced hikers. We're going to offer a wilderness first aid class, a Amsteel splicing class that we're going to go on, so we can get more people making part of their gear that they can kind of trick out. We're going to be doing possibly a pot cozy class. I've done that in the past few years, and it's been a big hit. We're going to be offering a CPR class, a knot tying class, and
now let me stop you real quick with the CPR class. Jane is going to be the one doing that, and if I'm not mistaken, the class is free, to sit in and learn. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you can get the certificate for it.
Oh, wonderful.
That would be the only thing that would cost, because, she has to send it off and all that stuff. But, if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember her, mentioning that, it might actually be on here. It's an at cost course, as in the only cost is the cost for the certification itself. So I'm not sure what that cost is. Should be able to let you know, at that time. But so if you wanted to get your CPR certification, you can do it there at HangCon.
Awesome. We're also going to be doing a knot tying class with a lot of really great knots that are really, really easy and really useful for hammock camping. The Florida Trail Association is also going to be doing a presentation as well for some of the local folks or some people that want to check out the Florida Trail. It is the largest trail in one particular state in the country, and it's right in our backyard. On top of our classes and demonstrations that we're going to be going on, there's going to be various podcast recordings from different podcasts. I know we're looking at doing one, and a few others have reached out to us and wanted to do some live recordings right there at HangCon, so you can check that out. Maybe be a guest, maybe be able to participate in one as well if you're interested in their offering, or just kick back and listen to one being recorded live. We're also going to have some YouTube personalities. They are doing some filming as well, so just be on the look for that as well. So we have a few other just miscellaneous pieces of information that we definitely would just want to let people know. So pets, a lot of people ask us about pets, and Sertoma is a pet-friendly facility. Our only thing is that we ask that dogs always be on leashes. It's just a great way to keep everybody safe. There are some area attractions that might be interesting to some folks. There's a lot of kayaking nearby, and I know some kayak trips are being planned or in the works, and we'll let you guys know about those the closer we get to the event. The Withlacoochee bike trail is not too far away from us. It's about a 50-mile trek, and the area that we're in, that trail, where that trail goes through near us, is probably one of my favorite parts of the trail. Is going through the Croom Wilderness Track. There's also the Florida Trail, not too far from us. We will be doing some guided hikes as well. I'm not too sure exactly what trail that they're going to be doing that on, whether it be on the Florida Trail or maybe some of the other smaller trails in that area. Let's see.
That's put on by Suncoast Outdoors.
Oh, Suncoast Outdoors. Awesome.
Yeah, Suncoast
awesome.
Outdoors is the one that's going to be doing that guided hike. That's going to be Kathy and Lenny from Suncoast that are going to be heading that up. Let's see. I think it said in here. I know it's a hike down along the Withlacoochee somewhere. Like AJ said, I'm not sure if that's on the Florida Trail or not. Can't remember, but that is one of the events that we got. That if you're a hiker and want to go on a guided hike, that is available.
Awesome. And we get asked a lot, what if I'm not a hammock camper? What if I have a tent? Can I come? Absolutely. We do ask that hammocks do take priority. So if we ask if you're going to bring a tent, just set it up in an area that's not going to block any potential trees from being used. And the only exemption to that would be if you are camping with, let's say, a small child that they are staying in that tent. Obviously, set that tent up near you because you definitely want to keep an eye on them as well. As far as like RV and campers, we really take those on a case-by-case basis. We really encourage as many people as possible to hammock camp. With campers and RVs, there is a cost to that. It's $45 a night. That's what Sartoma charges us. And with that, you can hook up to their electric grid as well. And they have a 30 amp and 50 amp, I believe. So if you're looking to join HangCon, but you need to use a RV or a camper and have like a dedicated spot, just send us a message so we can get that all lined up for you. And we'll actually give you a spot once you get there. We have a group of people that joined us last year that we're really excited to have back. A lot of motorcycle campers. Motorcycles can actually park at your campsite. We don't force our motorcycle family to park out in the parking lot just because that they rely on their transportation sometimes as part of their setup. So we do allow motorcycles to stay on site, but all other vehicles need to be returned to the parking lot once you get all set up.
Right. That's back in the primitive area as well, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, because I know most of them, they'll set their bike up, and when they pitch their tarp, they pitch it out and use the bike to help hold it up and stuff like that to basically put it in porch mode. Yeah,
and especially if we're expecting inclement weather, I definitely wouldn't want my bike just standing out to the elements if I had a way to keep it covered.
Right.
Now, cell phone coverage. I have Verizon, and if that's a point of reference, cell phone signal is not bad out there if you're just making a phone call or sending a text. If you're trying to like stream on Netflix or something like that late at night, it's not going to be that good. Also, I would encourage keep the streaming to a minimum just so everybody can, if we do need to get a phone call out, we can get that done. So yes, there is cell phone signal for calls and text. It's just not going to be like a 5G full bar signal. We do get asked about alcohol, adult beverages. Yes, alcohol and adult beverages are allowed. Now, we are a family-friendly event, so we just ask you to kind of keep it within the lines and be responsible with it. We've never had to give anybody the boot, nor we want to keep that trend going. So we just ask you to be responsible with alcohol use. We talked about cooking on sites. That's perfectly fine. We don't have any bears issues in the area. Just like I said, very eager squirrels and raccoons are about as intimidating as we get. Also, people ask about, hey, in Florida, do I need a 2-inch strap for the trees and things like that? Nope, 1-inch tree straps are just fine. Sertoma is a private campground, so we're not kind of limited to the rules of the state park or anything along those lines. But we, being good stewards of our environment and practicing good hammock etiquette, we do require everybody to have a 1-inch strap on the trees for your hammock setup. If not, if you're using a stand, you do you. But for our, if you're using the trees of Sertoma Youth Ranch, you do need a 1-inch tree strap. And that's pretty much all that I have, Paul.
So pretty much, I think we covered pretty much everything. So one more thing, and we'll close out then. So I'm going to ask you, and then I can give you mine also. What three reasons do you have why people should come to HangCon?
Oh man, that's
what are your 3 main reasons?
So I look more forward to HangCon than I do any other event throughout in the entire year. I can care less about Christmas at this point. Just get me to January.
Me and you start planning next year's HangCon the day after HangCon.
Yes.
I know, like Monday evening, you and I are on the phone discussing. I mean, so January the 16th. That evening, I'm sure you and I will be on the phone talking to each other about HangCon 2024.
And that's okay, because we get emails probably a week after HangCon asking about, hey, so when's HangCon next year?
When can I register?
So, all right. So my 3 main reasons.
Yes.
My first one is because it is the largest hammock community in the country. And when I come to these hangs, especially HangCon, especially some of the other hangs here in Florida, and also when we go to, Palmetto State in South Carolina, it's like a big family reunion. And,
absolutely.
New people come each year, and it's wonderful to see those folks, and also people that you've seen for, 5-10 years. You get to see those as well. And it is just that community and that family is just so great. Everybody is so friendly. You never meet an unhappy face. Number 2, gosh, I got to give a shout out to our vendors. Coming to HangCon allows you to meet the vendors and get to talk to them on a very personal level. You are getting to have a conversation with a person that you are entrusting your hard-earned money with, and talking with a person that is going to put needle to thread to make the gear that you're going to be using. There's just something really, really powerful for me, is to meeting and forming those relationships with those vendors. In turn, it might make me spend more money with them in the long run, but that's fine. They're all great people. But so yeah, meeting vendors and seeing them and getting to know them on a personal level is always huge for me. Also, so the final one, and I don't get to experience this a lot running the event, but when I would come to HangCon just as a participant, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It is the one and only event that I ever go to where laziness is encouraged. Like if you come to HangCon and you don't take a nap, we may ask, like, well, why not? So you can come to HangCon and make it what you want. If you want to come and do everything you possibly can and come to all the classes and all the demonstrations and meet all the vendors, which we strongly encourage you to do either way, you can make it. You can be go the entire time. You can go on the hikes. You can go on the trips. You can come to the campfire. You can be go the entire time. Or if you say, I want to, come to a class, I want to have food and I want to talk to people and I want to kick back and I want to relax. this is my vacation time. I just want to kind of chill. We thoroughly encourage that as well. So you can kind of choose your own adventure, but if your adventure is laziness, you're in the right place. So I would say those are my top 3 reasons why I love HangCon and the reason that you need to come to HangCon. How about you, Paul? What are your top 3?
Let's see. I think my top one, similar to yours, is the camaraderie. I love, which is funny, but I love meeting all the new people and seeing all the people that I've met before in the past. Why I say that's funny is I'm very much an introvert. But it's, I think you nailed it on the head when you said it's like family. You don't really meet a stranger there. So yeah, it's fun just being able to talk to everybody. Let's see, number 2 reason why I like it and why I think people should come. I know with me, it's like a vacation for me. It's like an escape. I get to be able to go there. I do a lot of relaxing whenever I'm there. I'm out in the woods. I do go around, I talk to people. Of course I, hang out for some of the classes, myself and everything. But to be able to just, kick back and relax and not have to worry about the stresses of everyday normal life. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the food as well. I look forward to the meals that we have there. Especially the Saturday night meal.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I go to bed. I go to bed hurting after the meals most of the time because I've eaten so much. But it is so good. But yeah, I mean, and then I know we was just talking about 3, but a 4th one that I can say, not so much for me, but for others that have never been to HangCon, especially if you're new to hammocking. So I know we have a lot of people that are just getting into hammocking. It's one of the best places that you will be able to go to learn about hammocking and see all the different types of setups that there are. And then, of course, like you said, they can talk to the vendors that are going to be making their stuff. Most of the vendors will have, their product there set up so you can actually lay in their hammocks and, see how it's made and everything else. So it's a great place for, especially, newer people to come and learn what it's all about. And then get out of those tents, get off that ground.
And also it has with everybody coming from all over the country and so many different types of hammock campers, you're going to see hammocks galore. Different hammocks. You're going to see bridge hammocks. You're going to see 90-degree hammocks. You're going to see gathered hand. You're going to be able to feel the different types of fabrics that our vendors use and how different they feel and how much stress do they have. And another cool thing that I love about just the hammock community is we're very eager to talk about our gear. So if you see a setup that you're like, oh man, I really like that pattern, like what type of print pattern is that? Oh, this fabric feels really, really nice. Oh, I've never seen that suspension before. Or, tell me, what is this accessory that you have on your hammock? Hammock campers, we will sit and we will talk your ear off. We're excited to share our gear and talk about our gear and explain away. So for newbies or, if you're just gear interested, it's a great opportunity to come out and see and learn about different types of gear that you may never have seen or experienced before.
A couple of other things that I was just thinking of is there's some of our vendors that use HangCon to debut new product.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Dutch has done it in the past. I have a feeling, I'm not going to say names because I'm not 100% sure, but there might be a couple of vendors that are going to do that again this year.
I have heard through the grapevine of some potential gear.
On top
releases.
of that,
yeah.
On top of that, there's some of our vendors that have like specials that are like HangCon specials for their gear when you buy it there.
Absolutely.
Get a good discount.
Absolutely.
So I think that pretty much covers everything. If there is something that we might have missed in this hour and a half rambling, just shoot us a message on Facebook or through the website, Instagram, and we will definitely get back with you and answer any questions that you may have. So unless you got anything else, AJ?
I don't. I'm sure our listeners are probably tired of hearing my voice.
So, all right then. Well, then we are going to wrap it up, and we hope to see a bunch of new faces in January.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, as they show up, they can let us know, that, hey, I'm here. I heard about this on the podcast, and my first year, and it's not going to be my last. So anyhow, AJ, I will talk to you later, and we'll hang out at some point and get some more planning going.
All right, sounds like a plan. Happy hanging, everybody.
All right, we'll see you. I think that Pheonix and I covered everything that you will need to know about HangCon, so you will know what to expect if you are coming. And if you were not planning on being there, hopefully all the information has changed your mind, because with everything that we have going on there, it is an event that you really do not want to miss out on. And remember, if you are planning on joining us there, don't forget to register at www.hangcon.com/event-registration. If you have any questions that we didn't cover, please feel free to reach out to us on one of our social media sites or on our website, and we will be glad to answer it for you. Don't forget to check out all of the other podcast shows that are on the Hiking Radio Network as well. There is Mighty Blue on the Appalachian Trail, the Jester Section Hiker Podcast, the Trail Dames Podcast, and Hiking Unfiltered. And if you like what we're doing here on the Hiking Radio Network, and you want to see our shows continue, please consider supporting us with either a one-off or monthly donation. You will find the donate button on each of the Hiking Radio Network pages at hikingradionetwork.com. And don't forget to leave a review and share the show on your social media to help the show grow. Until next week, happy hanging, everyone.